And now, a fireside chat with Sigman.
Hey guys, my name is Sigman and welcome to a very special fireside chat / video log with my buddy Oscar. I finally got him on camera. I'm not sure for how long though because he's not potty trained like he used to be, so he might poop on me. Not looking forward to that. Anyways, the reason why I wanted to do this kind of like a, not so much of a video log like reading your comments, which is awesome. I love doing that. It's my favorite part of the week. It still is. But I kind of wanted to sit and talk since the channel is almost at 100 subscribers. I know I've said before, you're getting excited. You see, he's getting too excited. His wings flap out like that. And I need to trim his claws. Anyways, yes, the channel is almost at 100 subscribers, which is amazing. But it's like, you know, my OCD's kind of kicking in. And I've always said that the number, it's not about the numbers, it's about the connections you can make. You're being obnoxious today, aren't you? It's about the connections you can make with your viewers. But it's like my OCD wants to kick in because it's like, you know, when you count 1 to 10, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You want to get to 10. That's kind of like where it's at right now. Really? Okay, sorry about that. That didn't work out too well. His claws were digging into my arm, and every time I talked, he had to pipe up. He has a bad habit of that. Still my buddy. One thing I don't think I've gotten into, I know I've talked about myself a little bit, but I haven't gotten into too much detail. I kind of want to give you a little history on the channel. I'm sure, as you all know, I just moved. I moved from my apartment into a house that we're renting, which is awesome. You know, I have a lot more room. I have my own little studio area, which I'm excited about. And he's still squawking. 1 second. Love my birds to death, but for some reason they feel like they misbehave the most when I do video logs. They don't really misbehave when I play games, but video logs, they don't stop. Anyways, yes. I moved into a house and actually my job is changing. I'm transferring and I'm going to third shift, which I'm hoping will open up a wide array of stuff so I can, you know, record more, have more time for editing and all that fun stuff for you guys so I can improve on the quality of the content, which I'm really looking forward to. Now, with the history of the channel, one thing I wanted to talk about actually is I had only been doing YouTube for 2 months, and due to some issues, I don't really want to go into too much about it, but let's just say I almost lost everything. I ended up almost quitting YouTube. I was worried I was going to have to get a second job just to help with things, because my wife and I are having some issues, and but we managed, after a while, we managed to get through that, and then I realized that I love doing YouTube. It's fun. I have fun doing it. It's the one hobby, one thing that I can do that I really enjoy, and doing it for you guys just really does it for me, and I love it. I love doing it, and I never want to stop. But after a while, things did get a little better. I was able to keep uploading. I've been aiming for 2 videos per day, and that's actually a lot harder than you might think. It got, it does get a little dicey. I know sometimes my uploads are a little spotty. There's a few reasons for that, which we'll get into a little later. One thing some of you may be curious about is the origin of the Lost My Mind video, where, you know, I have the glasses on, and I act completely insane. There's actually a good reason why I started doing that in the first place. Number one, at the time when I created it, I was just desperate. I didn't have any content, and at the time I couldn't afford any video games, any new content to put out there for you guys. And at that point, I think I'd only been doing YouTube for maybe 2 months. It was right before everything went south. And I just threw it together, like in 5 minutes. I wrote down an entire thing of what I wanted to do. It was basically a parody of myself, like a parody of my playthroughs of previous games. It ended up working out, and you guys seem to enjoy those a whole lot, which, you know, is awesome. Moving on, I wanted to talk about, I know the Indy Pop Con video log was the bread and butter, is the bread and butter of my channel. I wouldn't be where I'm at right now if it was not for that video. And I'm not afraid to admit that. I know where things go right, and I kind of have an idea where things go wrong. I do have a few confessions to make about Indy Pop Con. Some things I didn't really talk about, I didn't touch base on. It's just the whole Indy Pop Con experience. It was great. I had fun. The people were awesome. The fans were fantastic. But going there, oh my god, it was like, it was a flash flood the entire way there. It did nothing but rain, and my wife's like, honey, maybe we should pull over and, you know, till the rain stops. I said, nope, fuck that. I've been wanting to go to this. I've been wanting to meet these YouTubers, so I just powered right through it, and that was a really dumb mistake, because, yeah, I could have done something really bad. That would have just been awful. Another thing I wanted to talk about is, with the fans, which we were in line to meet Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, Wade, and Bob. It's, my wife and I actually almost got kicked out of Indy Pop Con. Some of you that are watching this you can attest to this. What had happened was, and this isn't Indy Pop Con's fault, they did not anticipate that many people showing up to meet Markiplier and Wade, Jacksepticeye, and Bob. They did not anticipate this at all, so it's not on them. This is not bashing them at all, and I completely understand, but at the time, we were very upset. My wife and I were in line, and there was little kids around us. And basically, these kids, the rule that they had passed at that point was if you step out of line, basically you move your feet, you lose your seat. You can't get back in line. Hell, parents couldn't even get back into line with their kids. And my wife had actually gone up to one of the event guests, their event people, and was asking them, was like, hey, you're not going to let these kids use the bathroom or go get drinks? And a few minutes later, all you see is my wife, while talking to them, she's doing this. All you see are hand signals going up into the air. And a girl next to me says, what is she saying to that lady? And I replied, I don't know, but I recognize those hand signals. They're not good. Not good hand signals at all. And I'd actually tweeted to Indy Pop Con saying, hey, we're in the line for Markiplier and they're not letting kids out to use the restroom or get drinks. What's going on? And then a few minutes later, you see a field of blue shirts, which is what the event security staff was wearing. You just see a field of blue shirts just fly out and they're all over the place. And I ended up having a pretty heated discussion with one of them about the situation. And it was just bad, but we did eventually get to meet Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and Wade. Bob, not so much. Bob had to leave. He had a previous engagement, I guess. At least that's what he said. Him and his significant other had plans to do something else. So they had left, and I actually got a runway picture with him. I'll try to post that right here. Yeah, we'll put it right there's a good spot for it. And then when we finally, another thing, we were towards the end, finally at the end, and I was close to the back of the line, if that tells you how long I had to wait. 5 hours. Wade was standing there. We're all just chit-chatting with Wade, and Wade was really funny. He was just keeping us all entertained, like trying to keep that energy up, which is great, you know, especially in a situation like that where you didn't know what was going to happen. You didn't even know you were going to have that many people. And then I went up and I met Markiplier, which was just awesome. And I didn't want to say this at the time at the Indy Pop Con video log because I didn't want it to be like he said this to me, I'm special. And it wasn't that at all. We had talked and I had explained, you know, how he inspired me to pick up YouTube and do that and how it felt like I have a direction in my life again. He said, oh, wow, that's great. You know, I handed him one of my cards. He gave me an autograph and then my wife handed him my card. I don't know where that went, but she can be sneaky when she has to be. But, and what I said as I walked away from him, he was already up to another fan. Markiplier looked at me and said, good luck, man. Now, to some people that may not mean a lot, but to me as a brand new YouTuber, that was just awesome. You know, just he could have just immediately went on to the next fan and completely forgot I existed. But he actually said that, which was great. And then I ran into Jacksepticeye. I feel really bad that I didn't really talk about him that much in the video log before, because, and I'll admit, at the time, I wasn't very familiar with his work. I'd watched some of his videos, but not a whole lot. I'm a subscriber now, and I love his stuff. But we had talked for like a couple seconds, and just for the few seconds I was up there, he had me laughing. He had me just dying laughing. I don't remember what he said, but all I know is I'll have the picture of that right there, too. Right there. Also, another good spot right here where the microphone is. You could see we're just both kind of laughing. I don't remember what he said, but it had me dying. My wife couldn't barely keep the phone still to take the picture because it was great. He was an awesome person. And then I met Wade. Wade was really funny. The entire time I was up close to the front, he was just hilarious. He's an awesome individual, and, you know, great. Love it. Picture right there, too. Okay, so at this point, this video's gone on for a little bit, but I can't end this without having a little bit of a rant, a little bit kind of the history of the channel. So far, I've actually gotten a lot of compliments saying, you know, people are telling me how great the channel is, which I appreciate. I love that. I love that you guys enjoy the content. I love that anybody enjoys the content. It's great. That means, you know, I'm doing something right. People are entertained and it's making just makes you laugh or something good. You know, it's just precisely what I want. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. And it's like I've had like 4 or 5 people telling me, hey, your channel is great. You are awesome. You deserve so many more subscribers. And it's like, well, thank you. I really appreciate that. And I do. I really do. You know, I'll never take that for granted. And I'm not trying to sound bitter about it or anything like that. But it's one of those, you could like and share. That really helps. Okay, and another thing, history. When I first started out, I actually used to be a kind of a little bit of a regular on Reddit. I was desperate for feedback because as a new YouTuber, I wasn't getting a whole lot of it, so I was posting on there. And apparently, there's the holy grail of Reddit. There's rules to each subforum, which I did not know at the time, because I was new to Reddit. There was a rule, basically, if you post a video, you have to post 2 reviews over somebody on 2 different videos for somebody else. I didn't know that was the rule. Well, I posted mine, and I had forgotten about the Reddit account. Well, I came back to the Reddit about a month later and saw I got 2 mods after me saying, well, you didn't do this, you're violating the rules, you're blah, 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 blah. Which is fine, I apologized, made everything well, and so I started doing that, and I started following the rules to Reddit. Well, I posted one of my Lost My Mind videos and asked for what people thought. Now, the community was great. The community was actually very receptive, very kind, and they say, well, you could do this a little better, but that's great. And believe it or not, I had the most issues with the moderator. One specific moderator, I'm not going to name his name because it's not worth it. Not worth the time to even bother looking him up. He basically said, well, okay, well, this is constructive criticism, which it wasn't. Because he took everything about my video, tore it apart. Like, and as you know, the Lost My Mind, anybody who watches the Lost My Mind videos knows it is a rant. It is just a parody of myself. I am parodying my own videos. Hell, he was the only person I had ever seen say these things, say this to me, that it seemed like I was very bitter, that I wanted, that I was desperate for subs, I was begging for subscribers, and that, what else, the lighting was bad. Basically, he just tore it apart. I mean, just destroyed it. And at that point, I just realized it wasn't worth it. I'm not going back to Reddit. I don't think I will, unless something happens that pulls me back in. I don't think I'll go back. It's nothing against the community of Reddit. It's just that one particular mod kind of came across as a bit of a prude. Because I just started and he tore it apart to where, like, if I was a professional doing this and I had 1 million or 2 million subscribers, which at the time I think I had like 10. And it's just if you're doing YouTube and you're getting feedback, there's a difference between constructive criticism and somebody just being a jackass. This guy was just being a jackass. It's one of those, I'm a moderator, so anything I say holds water. And really, it doesn't. If you're doing YouTube, you go to the people, you ask for constructive criticism and they'll give it to you, but you have to be able to, you know, figure out what's constructive and what isn't. If someone says, F you, you suck, you're terrible, you're this, that's not constructive at all, because they're not really saying, okay, well, you did where your strengths are. You did good here, but you didn't do good here. The moderator for me just told me everything was terrible. At the time, my banner art wasn't that good and my profile picture wasn't that good, but he said it was like I was into ska music. And I don't know where he got that analogy from, but anyways, yeah. All right, on to the last part of the rant. Finding content. That seems to be the biggest pain in the ass, and it's not that I don't enjoy, you know, you guys have suggested some good ones, and I've taken up as many as I possibly can, but so far I've run into issues like too many series content, you know, like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. You don't want, like when I had Until Dawn, I was at the end of Until Dawn when I got Soma, but I didn't want to run Soma and Until Dawn at the exact same time, because 2 horror games in one day, with the series, I don't know how well that would have worked. There's not really a whole lot of one-off games. I mean, there's a bunch out there, but it's, you know, is the game fun? Is it something that's easy to, not easy, but something you could do commentary on, or is it relevant? Is it like newer, that's where it could pique people's interest? Because while I'll play most games that are fun, that I enjoy, that I want to do Let's Plays on, it's just, I don't know, you kind of have to look at it, not really so much like a business, but you have to look at it like, okay, if I do this, is that really going to hold somebody's interest? While you may think I'm a good YouTuber, you may look at the game I'm playing and say, you know what, not interested, this game came out like 5 years ago, I'm not okay with that. So I kind of have to be picky on some aspects. But that doesn't mean if you have a suggestion that I'm going to ignore it. If I look at the game and I think it looks fun, I'm going to play it. That's all there is to it. Eventually, it boils down to what I want to play, kind of like, you know, what you guys suggest, what you guys want to see, and if it's good, I'll play it. In a nutshell. Sorry, going on a tangent again. Wow, okay, this has gone on for, like, according to this, 15 minutes. Hopefully I have it shrunk down a little bit for you. I just wanted to talk to you guys so you kind of get a better feel of who I am, and a little bit of a backstory on how the YouTube thing went. It's like, you know, on camera you don't really see, you see what I'm playing, you see my sense of humor, but you don't see all of the, you know, the downsides, all of the issues and problems that may come up behind the scenes. I mean, there's a lot of things to consider too, like I have sleep. Sleep is very important, and I've actually lost a lot of it, which is my choice, nobody else's. It's my decision ultimately to stay up that late to work, which, going to third shift, I'll be staying up late all the time, so that works for me. The other thing is sometimes balancing life with YouTube. Like if you have a spouse, girlfriend, something, you still have to find time to spend with them, and you don't want them to be completely blocked out. And luckily for me, my wife has been extremely supportive. Speaking of my wife, that Reddit guy who tore me apart, I had to keep her from creating a Reddit account. Apparently she got really upset with that one. Like, because constructive criticism again, she was like, okay, well, I see where his point is. That makes sense. Maybe, honey, you should do this, which, you know, is fine. But that when that moderator just destroyed my video, it was a bunch of profanity, and I had to stop her from making a Reddit account. That's pretty much the gist of that. All right, yeah, I think I completely forgot what I was talking about. Anyways, yeah. Thank you guys again so much for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to hit that like button like badoosh, and share with a friend. That would be great. I hope to do more of these fireside chat videos with you in the future. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Questions, comments, anything, let me know. That would be fantastic. And again, thank you so much for watching, and as always, we'll see ya in the next video.